Hey guys, it's Avenger. Welcome back to the channel. And that's a van. This is Blacksquare's Bonanza Professional package here. Now, you can get this and their newly released Barron together for £45 or individually for £33. I chose to buy just the Barron here myself because I have too many twins and I don't like the Barron. But essentially, I'm going to simplify this down in a way that will anger a lot of purists. The Barron's basically a Bonanza times 2, so it's going to look equivalent. So, if you want to find a specific review, go for that one, but if you don't, and you want to see what the general professional update is like for these aircraft, which are, in their previous form, very similar, take a look. Now, this, of course, is their long-awaited, fully native update. There's a 2020 version and a 2024, and they come together in one package for that price. You have 3 versions of the Bonanza in this one, and the reason I bought the Bonanza was we get the typical A36 of the 2000s, a 2001 36TC with an aftermarket turbo normalizing package, and tip tanks, which look great on Bonanzas. You also get the rather wild B36TP turboprop conversion, which we will test today. 6 different interiors, 9 paint schemes, and 5 decades of flying. So, without further ado, let's take a look at this aircraft. We'll talk about the Bonanza whilst we're at it, and the Beechcraft in general, as we go through this one. So, let's get down onto the ground. Now, one of the nice things already is we are fully 2024 click and wiggleable. For some reason I can't... Oh, right, because I have the control locks on. That would explain it. That one can't be wiggled. But that one can because there's no control lock on the rudder. Although you could technically install a rudder lock, which this one does not have. But most importantly, excuse me, Heidi. Oh, walking past here. Now, of course, the Bonanza originally came into existence in 1947, when Beech Aircraft Corporation of Wichita, Kansas, first introduced that. The 6-seater single-engine aircraft, still produced to this day. So we've got here our pitot covers, we've got our shocks for 2024. We also have our intakes, and we have our ability to play with stuff and fiddle with things as our heart's desire. Now, we could also open some of these hatches, I believe. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing there. Have I clicked the right thing? Does I hover around till I find the right thing? I'm not clicking the right thing. We'll find out. This is our Mariatzell. It's in Austria, and it's included. This is a stock airport. In case you're curious, I'll include the ICO in the description. But we can open the doors here. We can open various static wicks on. Everything we want to do with the aircraft can be done. So we'll close this off here for now. We'll pop the main door and we'll hop inside. So for a 2011 G36, which is not quite this one, ballpark, you're looking at a 550, 300 horsepower. We're talking about 176 knots of speed, which is pretty darn responsive. So the battery's on inside. I'm going to turn all that off for now, leave it cold. And we're going to pop up the tablet here because this does come with a tablet. Exterior modelling is wonderful, and this is the first time they've actually done the exterior on this aircraft. So this is their full exterior, unlike the previous, which was just the interior. So if you own it in 2020 and you like having it, but you just have the interior, because it used the stock exterior, just like we saw with the Barron and a few of the others in the Caravan, this new professional series are like their Dukes, because they come with the full tablet system and full engine modelling. Now, our engine conditions here are all good. Everything's wonderful. Everything is fantastic. Look at this. We've got options in the wazoo. We can put the old Ben King navigation systems in there. We can go between PMS and TDS GTN units if we want those. Full old school stack there of radio equipment. We can even put a KLN 90 in there if you want to get some very, very retro GPS unit action going on. There we go. You can install that, of course, separately. Now I'm going to put the 430 and 530 in there. Nice and easy. Now we can load with covers and chocks deployed. This is all state saving, so this is fine. VR supported, of course. Show Copilot from the inside. Could do, but I don't have Captain Whiskers back yet, so I'm disappointed. We could even hide the radar pod. I choose to like it, personally. So I like to leave it on. And we can force tip tanks regardless of type. Or force toggle them. That's cool there. And VATSIM stuff and dynamic registrations. So that will obviously be a thing in Sim Update 4. Okay, so cool options there. Payload options are all here. You can throw people into the plane, add some little bit of weight. We'll do that for testing to make things fair. And you'll notice in the back here, we've got the usual guff like a seat that could be, the table that can be moved. And our chocks are in the back, and we can deploy them by doing that. And we can take them off by clicking in the back too. It's pretty impressive that you can put the chocks back out from the back seat, but there you go. Nice little table, nice and simple. Rather nice leather interior here. And we can even put up the armrest between the seats in case you don't like your neighbour. Or you can get cosy. Although I wouldn't like to sit on that. That'd be uncomfortable. To the maximum. Okay. Enough messing around. Let's take a look at this thing, shall we? Now, in terms of overall capabilities, there's a full operational manual for it. It is a full simulation. This aircraft gives you everything you might want. Like I say, it's like the original one, so if you've got features like the menu that is listed in here, you'll see all that stuff. We'll just put the avionics on for now so I can show you. I will turn this off for actual test flying it. But everything is in the integration here. When I say it comes with a kitchen sink, I mean it. So there we go. We have our other pages here. Now this is a hangover ready from the days of when it didn't have the tablet. Now it does. So we can actually just leave it onto the other modes as we wanted it. So we'll turn the avionics off for now. And we will get rid of this. Of course, refill all the things here. Fantastic. So we'll get rid of that. Put it down there. We'll pull up our checklist. But we can't do checklists on that, as far as I'm aware. Options. I don't see a checklist option in here. Repair engine, battery capabilities. Yeah, no, just as it is. Okay, not the end of the world. So before start, pre-flight, obviously take the control lock off, and then we can go wiggle, wiggle. So that's nice that is actually modelled. Go back inside. Avionics breakers are all in. That is correct. Avionics are off. Throttle is closed. Propeller is full rich, and mixture's full rich. Cowl flaps to open or crack the throttle, 1/2 inch. Cowl flaps down there to full open. Fuel is on left main tank. Okay, aileron trim is centered. They are. Alternative air is off. Firewall valve is open. Everything here is looking as it should be. Battery master to on. It is. Voltage is looking good for now. Okay. Looking good. Yep. 25 volts in the battery. Okay. Everything else is good. Check annunciators. Where are you? Normally it's that button. That's the engine monitoring alarm. That's fine. Oh, gyro warnings on. That's expected. Okay. We have our tip tank transfer pumps over there. Okay. So make sure we have sound from low. Do we have movement on the actual fuel flow? No. High, we do get movement. So that's functioning. Standby gyro pump on. We have gyro. Fantastic. Standby pump off. Okay. Right, engine start cold. So we'll go full rich, which we are. Propeller high RPM. Throttle full open. So full open. Aux pump for 2 to 3 seconds to low. To high. And greater than not. Cut it off. Throttle to 1/4 inch. Or 1/2 inch, sorry. Start to engage. Boom. And she starts. Beautiful. Now we'll hold her at 1000 RPM. Nice and easy. Avionics to on, generators to on. Okay, keep an eye on our oil pressures as they want to come up into the green arcs where we want them to be. We've got our CHTs here, pressures are looking good, temperature's going to come up there. So we'll keep an eye on that. So it's 1000 to 1200, so we'll nudge it a little bit more. Open there. Put our transponder to standby. Flaps to first notch. Mixture lean for altitude. We're good where we are, so we'll just knock a little edge off it like I like to do. Parking brake is fine. So run up. Okay, so make sure everything's here. We're going to go to 700 RPM. We'll just do a truncated run up whilst I'm just trying to show you everything. Okay, coming into green arc on temperatures. Everything's looking good here. Battery's got full charge. Everything is looking good. Okay. Okay, looking good. Everything's fine here. Okay. Cowl flaps to half closed. Oxygen's flowing. Fantastic. Okay. Without further ado, let's get out of here and do some testing, shall we? Okay, let's get ourselves out to the runway. We're on the grass, so we might as well continue. We're already here. Why not? And the one thing I forgot to start up was my head tracking because I was so busy shutting everything else down. So we'll make sure that's functioning right now. And we'll get ourselves taxied out here. Lovely little airport in Austria. Perfect place to do some test flying. Okay. So far, I rather like this airplane. Nice sound effect differences when we open that. Obviously, the attention and care that we saw go into their Duke is now very much present in the Bonanza. I never quite liked the G36s we had in the sim. I like the steam gauges. I also liked having the options for things like tip tanks, and the turboprop we'll test out in a minute. Looks like a blast. That one excites me. Because a single turboprop, GA, that could be really fun. Okay, flaps are where I want them. Gear is set to the right position, locked down. Okay. Let's take off, shall we? Sounds are good. Sounds are good on the exterior too. At full throttle. But we expect that from these guys. That's me drifting off target looking at third person. Okay. Little steep on pitch, that's my fault. So we'll go exterior. Gear retraction. Standard, normal, well behaved. So pull the flaps in here. I'm drifting, that's my fault. So I'm flying like a drunk. Lovely. Is that a church? That looks like a church. That does look like a church. I think it's a church. Orthodox church, possibly, looking at those towers? Entirely possible. Okay. Well, she flies like a Bonanza. I know you're shocked to understand this, but there you go. It flies like a Beechcraft Bonanza. Not a shocker. Now, we're going to have to do a keyhole here to come back in the way we actually just landed, because it is a sloped runway. I don't particularly feel like landing on the downslope. There's our airport right there. Not a big slope, but it's enough of a slope, so we'll just pop around this peak here, give her a bit of a play with, and once we get clear of this, we'll just do a quick stall test, see how she behaves. So we have got our, I believe we have autopilot function. We do, right here. I'm going to just quickly set us to a correct heading. Currently we're at about 4,500 feet, so I will set us down here to autopilot on. Set heading, and I will set autopilot. It's holding altitude, it's holding heading currently. We'll see if it can take the heading input. It is taking heading input. Fantastic. I have no path set otherwise, but okay, looking good. Simple, quick test, but it does the job. Right. Let's pull the power back here. Now, slow down to within our range for gear and flaps, because I want to do this for a test dirty. Because to me that's important. Straight and level, clean airframe, so retracted gear and wheels, doesn't tell me a lot, because I'm rarely going to be slow in those conditions. So I'm going to keep my rudder centered, controls are centered, but just aft, holding that, and it bites the left wing. Oh god, I don't deserve this. Flaps coming up. Okay, gear up. I nearly bought a farm. A very small holding, but a farm regardless. Okay, perfect. And there's the airport, so we'll come round to this side. We'll pop over the mountain, drop down, and come in for an approach. should be fairly simple. It's a Bonanza, it's not a complicated aircraft to fly. And I will say it does feel rather alive. It doesn't feel flat and boring. It's certainly not the stock A30 or G36 or 2020's A36 handling. It feels unique. It feels well behaved, but it certainly feels powerful. I must say I do enjoy it. It's a nice little aircraft. Turn all that stuff off fully. Okay, so I can pass the crest here. Okay, landing gear down. The sound sweep in this is also fantastic. Every switch, knob, button, everything feels natural in terms of its sound clicking and the whine of motors and engine notes and machinery, suction, gyros. It sounds great. First notch flaps, there's our runway. Second notch. Flaps are in transit, flaps are down. There we are. So we'll give it a little bit of power here. Okay. Turning in. Little power. Just around the corner. So we are full flaps, landing just under 3,000 feet, so yeah, it's nice and thick. Little power here just to correct that. That engine sounds fantastic. This is the turbo normalized variant. It sounds lovely. It really does. Okay. You can hear that whistle. Okay, and rounding out, a little bit stally, but perfect realistically. Oh, lovely. Look at that. Flaps coming up. Behavior on the ground feels good, especially into braking. It really leaned into that braking. Okay, so thoughts of this variant alone. It is a fantastic recreation of a GA aircraft. Performance is excellent in the sim. No performance issues at all. Its functionality, systems depth, and general behavior is fantastic. It's exciting, it's unique, and for this alone, I'd be happy. It's on the pricey side, but I've paid more for an aircraft that's just a single variant. And to have this in the non-turbo normalized version without the tip tanks, fantastic. I think well worth a price there of £32, £33. Let's go try the turboprop and see how exciting this could get, shall we? So here we are with the spicy version of this aircraft, the B36TP, which I think is one of their own versions. There are some turboprop conversions, there are numerous, and this one should be fairly exciting. Let's go take a play with it, shall we? Okay, so externally, otherwise, basically the same aircraft, other than this big nose on here, and somehow, I think it somehow makes the Bonanza look perfectly proportioned. Doesn't it just? That somehow fits on this aircraft. I really like that for some ungodly reason. Call me a heretic if you want to, but hey, we're going to do this. So right, to pop the tablet out here, I'm going to need to make sure we switch that over there, so we'll get rid of this. 530, 430, confirm. Don't need any of this other stuff in there as well. Everything's good payload-wise, we want this nice and empty. So we'll get rid of this here. We'll pull up this, and we'll go straight to our checklists and get this thing going. Everything is going to look good generally in here. Okay. Avionics to off, that's where they need to be. Condition lever to cut off, it is cut off right now. There we go. Prop needs to be in high RPM. It is. Power lever is flight idle. It is in flight idle, in fact. Okay. So bleed air. Push off, okay. Everything else should be good there. So fuel pumps 1 and 2. Those are here. Okay, looking good there. There's our ignition. So this should be a fairly simple baby to get going. So standby gyros again. Looking good. So our door seal. Does that actually inflate? That'd be amazing if it did. Okay, so that's how big that looks there. I don't think that changes size. It'd be amazing if it did, though. Okay, everything else looking good there. Fantastic. Fan Debbie Dozy. Engine start. Oil door closed. It is in fact closed. Oh, pull closed. Okay. Starter to on. That should be down here. Starter is on. I'm probably sure I need to have ignition on as well. To automatic. Looking for things to come up here. Give it some motion lotion. Boom, she lights. And the turboprop swings to life. Okay. Make sure we check everything down here. Ignition to automatic. Generator on. We are rock and rolling. All indicators are extinguishing. Oil door is closed. Open that up again. Avionics to on. Looking good there. Okay. So we need to do a governor run here. So we'll put this up to 2000 RPM. Or is it asking me for 2000 RPM? Let's go to 2000. That's the fence, even though the brakes are not holding it at this RPM. Okay. Let's get ourselves backwards, shall we, a little bit here, because we're a bit in the nose, parked into a fence line. Because the brakes apparently don't hold it when it's going to 2000 RPM. That's something worth noting. You know what? Screw calling for the... Is that still going? It is still going. Oh, that's noisy. That's noisy. Oh, boop. We're choosing to back up ourselves, apparently. Okay. That was actually that pushing me back, so we'll go forwards now. Get ourselves turned here. Oh, again, we're parked on the grass, so we might as well go straight to the runway. Save ourselves some work here. We're at Lugano in Switzerland, southern Switzerland. Italian Switzerland, in fact. And I guess being parked to the grass is a good thing, because we get to go straight here. Let's test this monster and see what it can do. There's some big mountains around here, and I figure it could do with enjoying them. Okay. Flaps set. Power maximum. Releasing. Oh boy, here we go. Hold on to your pants. Oh, the acceleration is insane. Oh my god. Okay, and... oh boy. Gear and flaps coming up. Yep, this is us climbing away at positive rate. This is a missile. We've not even cleared the runway yet. And we're passing through 2,000 feet. Oh boy. This is a rocket ship. You know what? I don't normally like turboprop GA types, you know, the Malibus, etc. But this is interesting because it's a Bonanza. But it's not. It's a Funanza. Okay. Pull this stuff back into safe range. Yes. I'm working on pulling that back. Okay, we're off the red line. And this thing is still climbing like an absolute beast. Look at this thing. Wow. I'm probably sounding a little fangirlish right now, but I genuinely mean it. This thing is insane. I could fly around the world in this quite happily. I mean, it's a turboprop Bonanza. It's going to be fast. It's efficient. Is it noisy? Yes, yes it is. Similar speed result, but the performance to climb is ridiculous. Wowzers. This is a naughty airplane. That is saucy. I approve. Important things here, of course. Could we click on our... We can click on our visors and move them around. Of course, different interiors in all these aircraft, so this is a much plusher, newer interior in this conversion. Red trim racing leather. Of course, a lot of the interiors are unique to the different liveries. I wonder, can I do something very stupid? Yes, I can. I can go into reverse in a Bonanza. One express elevator to hell, going down. Oh, we're descending at in excess of 4,000 feet a minute, and we're still green. That's potent. It's certainly the best performance out of a Bonanza I've ever seen. Okay. Back into flight idle. Okay. Yes, 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 my landing gear. Thank you for telling me. I'll put it down if you'll shut up. Now you have to make a bit of a U-turn here to the runway. I think I should be able to make a U and get this done, so flaps deployed. It's not going to be a particularly long final, but I'm trying to keep this into one review. So we'll see what she can do low, slow, and tight. Already threatening me. Okay. I see you don't like this. There's the threshold. Okay, we should be good here. We should be good. No, we're just fine here. Looking good, looking good, looking good. It's a little tight curve, but it's working. Plenty of runway here as well is the best part. Little rudder to encourage around the corner. And we are perfect. It's an absolute missile. I love this thing. Into full reverse there. Or if not reverse, beta. I don't think it's going to full reverse. In fact, let's test that. No, we're in beta because it's given me zero ability to reverse, even by encouraging it to. Yeah, so we can at least hit beta. That's useful. That would be probably appropriate for an aircraft this size. I think having anything else would tear it apart. So, I thought I was satisfied with the regular Bonanza with the turbo normalized and the tip tanks. That was quite nice for me. But having this absolute funny car dragster of a GA aircraft for the low, low price of £33 is like a baby PC-12. It's the PC-12 if it was the run to the litter. In fact, I'm going to park next to it because this thing deserves to be next to something that's silly. Yeah, I am extremely satisfied with this turbo turboprop Bonanza, which is such a silly aeroplane, but my gosh, you don't know you need it until you have it, I think is probably the best way to put this. I've cut the fuel. The engine is stopping. It's just taking a second to think about it. Yeah. That's a great deal of fun with one's clothes on. For this alone, I am now satisfied with my purchase price. Because we get a full systems depth turboprop that's a single, that's a Bonanza. It feels so wrong, but it feels so right. Isn't that right, PC-12? Yeah, I thought so. So yeah, if you like this, I highly recommend going and grabbing it. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the version that includes both the Bonanza and the Barron is £45, so you are paying just about £11 more for 2 aircraft. So yes, if you want both, it is hugely beneficial to buy both. It's £45, and that's both 2020 and 24 versions included in the one package. I just don't really like the Barron, personally. Like, I prefer the Duke, I prefer the 310, I prefer the Aerostar. I just prefer other twins. It's not their fault. In this particular case, I do like the Bonanza, and this Bonanza is fantastic. £33 for this alone, 3 aircraft. Of course, as I mentioned, the Barron includes 3 versions as well. That includes a 1985 B58P, pressurized one. You get the naturally aspirated B58 and the mid-2000s, and a 1984 B58 turbocharged. So, 3 of each. Yeah, and full engine simulation. Worth every penny. Sound like a shill, paid for my own money. Really did a good job. Blacksquare have yet to disappoint me. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!